The month of May was a very interesting month for me. So let's go through what my small business did this past month. So hi, I'm Daisha and welcome back to my channel. On this channel, I talk about my small business, how I make products out of this small studio in my house, how I promote it on social media, and I just share the journey with you so you can be inspired, learn a little something, and honestly give me some tips along the way. We're going to talk about the revenue that I made this past month on Etsy and TikTok shop. This month I didn't have any like outside orders like I did last month. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. I don't have a whole lot to talk about. So as always, this is not me like trying to brag or show off or anything like that, even though I mean it's really not that big of a flex. However, it's just me showing my journey and like get people trying to get started, showing you like what's possible, what's kind of realistic, kind of that realm. Like I never want to just seem like I'm just here to brag. So if you have a small business, share down below also how your past month was. I know, like I said, the beginning of the year was kind of down. Last month was up, and this month's a little bit lower, but I'm still not upset or hindered by that. So yeah, share below and let's start building some community of people that can like support each other. I definitely have some people that have commented before, but I definitely want to do more of like, helping out each other. This past month on Etsy, I made $814.54. And that is not bad. And if you look at the screenshot, you'll notice that it says revenue increased 46% from the same period last year. So, and of course, last year I was just getting started, but that is showing the growth, right? Like, even though, it's not an astronomical number, it's still a lot more than what I started at. And sometimes you have to remind yourself of those things. So, definitely not upset about that. When I clicked on the visits, though, it did say it was down. And I don't know if that's just like an overall Etsy thing or something specific to me. But yeah, and I also feel like I don't like promote as much on Instagram as I did when I first started. Like, I mean, I'm still hungry, but I try not to be too salesy on my Bookstagram page. So I have to find a balance. So the visits were lower, but the revenue was higher. So I cannot complain about that. When I talk about Etsy, though, I also always have to talk about ads, right? Because I am running Etsy ads. It's kind of controversial. Some people don't want to, spend the money, but at the end of the day, sometimes you have to spend money to make money. And that's what I'm doing here. So I'm going to share from ads. I made 9 orders. So I don't know if that's not sales. So 9 orders, but they could have bought multiple things. The revenue from that was $224.56. And the ad spend on that was $365. So I did lose money if you just look at the ads. But something I like to remind myself, when you make a sale, if I make one sale in a day, it's easier for me to make 2 or 3 or 4 more sales because Etsy wants to reward people that are making them money, right? So I feel like they do a better job of pushing out your products, and then therefore I normally get more orders. So even though I lost money on ads, that might have been one of the first orders I had that day, and it helped give me a boost where other people could order. So I'm not upset because yes, I spent 365, but I made 814, and had I not spent that money, would I have made this revenue? So sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture. It's not about, oh man, I lost money on this. It's still an investment. And then some people, they might have just favorited the shop and maybe they'll come back. You never know. And then some people have been like repeat customers. Actually, surprisingly enough, I had somebody order a annotated book the other day, which, if you don't know, like annotation is like when you write in the books and stuff like that. I sell copies of my book. So I use mine and copy it over to a clean version, send it to a customer. Anyway, I realized I'm like, I recognize this name. She has bought 5 annotated books for me. That's amazing to keep coming back like that. So I think you got to also look at the bigger picture of, I think she actually came from ads at first. But she does keep coming back and it kind of pays for itself. So not too upset with that. Something I thought was very interesting. So a couple of videos ago, I shared about your save and share link. And I said you should always be using your save and share link when you're using social media, when you're posting about it, when you're sending your link to friends. Always use your share and save link. And what that does is save you money in fees. So some of the money that Etsy takes out for processing your order, things like that, they take out less if someone uses your save and share link because they can tell that you brought that direct traffic to Etsy. So at first, I thought this was for like a longer period, but this is only for this month. In the month of May, I had 337 clicks on my link. I had 9 orders from those clicks. I generated $428 in revenue. So that's money that came to me. So actually, if you look at it that way, $428 of the profit came from me. And then we know, what was that, 244 came from ads, and then the rest of it would just be organic traffic. So I did drive a lot of the traffic, even though I'm not being overly salesy. But it saved me $17.13. So that's more money that I got to keep just by making sure I posted that link. So if you have not enabled your save and share link, like, what are you doing? I'm not kidding. I will try to remember to link the video up above or wherever the card goes, so that way you can look at that video if you need help. Always use your save and share link. So that's about it for Etsy. Overall, not a bad month. It was kind of slow for a minute, and my husband even commented on that. And then it kind of picked up towards the end. So I'm hoping the summer keeps that momentum going. So I have a little bit less stats from TikTok Shop, only because I don't run TikTok ads or anything. I have been going live on TikTok, and that's been interesting. I've been getting like certain people that'll kind of get on and like always talk to me. My cousin always joins. Shout out to Scotland. But it's just kind of me getting on. Sometimes actually I'll annotate a whole book on live and just talk. Kind of serves two purposes. One, to get, push my content out there, but two, I also had to get the book done regardless. And then packing orders, which I might do today because I have like 3 orders to pack on Etsy, but they each have like multiple things. And then I did a giveaway on Instagram, and so I have 3 annotation kits that I need to get out. So, anyways, so less TikTok Shop stats, but I had 11 orders from 11 customers. I sold 15 items, and with that, I made $446.56. So, not too shabby as someone who literally, I just hit 3,000 followers like this past week. So it's been nice in that realm where I feel like it does well, even if you don't have a lot of followers. And that's pretty decent, especially not doing ads. That's just me sharing what I've got. Now, most of them were annotated books, which is, time consuming, but I don't mind. And I'm actually trying to figure out ways to add more books to my shop. So for the month of May altogether, I made $1,261 and actually 0 cents. It's like right on, right even with $1,261. So yeah, I'm not upset. I'm home for the summer. So school is out, and I'm just like thinking of ways how I can expand my business and what I can do from here. So that's actually what I'm about to work on. We're doing products after I've got some things I have to make for the orders, but overall we're in a good spot. My whole shop is restocked. That video will be after this one. I cleaned my office and did a reset. That was the last video. So if you missed it, make sure you go back and check it out. But yeah, thank you for just supporting me on this journey and always checking out what I have going on. If you like this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe, and then comment below anything you want to see or you have questions on, whether it's Etsy or TikTok Shop. I just remembered somebody did want to know a little bit more about TikTok Shop. I will try to do a video about that. I just don't. I feel like I'm not an expert. Like, I know more about Etsy than I do TikTok Shop, but I can share my experience, especially like with going live and like what I've seen so far. Okay. Well, I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.